Exercise. Placing himself in a position and condition of ease and repose. Let the neophyte meditate on the incidence of incorporeality, or life independent of the physical body. Thinking of oneself as a physical being, one naturally and properly takes into account the incidence of corporeity, or life in the body. For instance, he realizes that he may be hurt by fire, water, earth, air, or ether. He may be burned by fire, drowned by water, smothered or crushed by earth, swept away by air, or injured by ethereal vibrations such as electricity, etc. And again, he may be wounded, meet with physical accidents, laid low by sickness. These are all incidents of corporal life. But in meditation, by using the imagination intelligently, he is brought to a realization that none of these incidents are in effect upon the plane of the incorporeal life. Meditation and intelligent imagination will show the neophyte that in his astral body he might pass through fire unscathed, through water untouched, through earth without hurt or interference, through air without being swept off his feet, through the ether without regard to ethereal vibrations. None of these things of the physical plane have any effect upon the astral body or disembodied ego. In some of the ancient occult initiatory rites, the neophyte was taken out of his physical body and in his astral form was bidden to plunge himself in the flames of the hottest fiery furnace, to throw himself from the highest precipice, and to drop into a bottomless lake. Not realizing that these things cannot affect him in his astral form, and being bound up with the memory of the corporeal life, the neophyte would often shrink from the test. But after being encouraged by example and precept, he would submit to the test joyfully, with a laugh on his lips, as he realized that to him in his astral form, these corporeal things were non existent, mere dreams of the physical plane. Of course, the actual experience in the astral is far more convincing than is the mere realization of the truth in meditation. But the latter must not be despised, for it gives one an intuitive realization of the truth, which, once attained, tends to destroy fear and to impart a new sense of courage, invincibility, and invulnerability and mastery, which permeates the entire being and causes one to radiate power and strength. Likewise will come the realization that the ego in itself is incapable of hurt, harm, wounds, or sickness. These things belong to the corporeal life and have naught to do with the higher self. The neophyte is enjoined to persevere and practice until he gains the actual experience and recognition that his higher self, his real self, is superior to all the incidents and accidents of the corporeal life, and that let come what will to his physical covering, he himself is unhurt, whole, untouched, undisturbed. An old arcane teacher over 2,000 years ago was once told that the world was coming to an end. Well, what is that to me? He replied, resuming his study. He realized fully his invincibility. A similar tale is told of Emerson, who was halted in the street by an excited Millerite, who informed him in strained tones, Mr. Emerson, the world will be destroyed in 10 days. Well, what of it? Replied Emerson calmly. I don't see, but what? We shall get along just as well without it. The 19th century transcendentalist voiced the truth as clearly as did his predecessor in ancient Greece. The sense and realization must be experienced before it can be understood. It may be realized by practicing the formulas as given herein. The next step indicated by the formulas is that of focalizing the consciousness on the ego. That is still within the realm of personality, but on a very high plane of that realm, a plane which gradually blends into the higher plane of individuality. It consists of bringing about an acute realization of one's existence as a center of consciousness and force. It tends to gather up the dissipated sense of personal existence and bringing it to a focal point into vivid and actual conscious realization, preparatory to it being transmuted into the higher sense of individual existence. The following exercise will tend to bring about the desired realization.